Morning, guys, on Proverbs 30, reading from verse 7 to verse 14. Two things I ask of you, do not refuse me before I die. Keep deception and lies far from me. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with the food that is my portion. And there's not many scriptures that talk about this balance. Some people say, blessed are the balanced, but that's not one of the Beatitudes. But here we see the balance of having too much and the dangers of having too many riches and the dangers of having too little. It's important that he starts off with the truth. Don't let me be deceived. And as we go through this, you'll see there's a lot of deception and lies that we're going to deal with in this passage. If you consider the Lord's Prayer, praying for your daily bread, bread is not a lot of food or luxury. Bread is just something you need, your sustenance. And we need to pray that we don't have too much or too little. Proverbs 30 verse 9 says that I will not be full and deny you and say, who is the Lord? Or that I not be in want and steal and profane the name of my God. So these are the two dangers. Is that when you full, there's a tendency to deny or say who is the Lord and not need him, not depend on him, and even forget. Deuteronomy 8 verse 12, lest when you have eaten and are full and have built good houses and live in them, and when your herds and flocks multiply and your silver and gold is multiplied and all that you have is multiplied, then your heart be lifted up. There's the pride that comes in, the non-dependence on God, and you forget the Lord your God. There's a chance when you have too much that you're going to forget God. Verse 10, do not slander a slave to his master, or he'll curse you and you'll be found guilty. Important that we don't gossip behind each other's back, but also even worse is slander someone in front of their master. So you've got a work colleague and you're bad mouthing the work colleague in front of the boss. That's not going to go down well. We must practice Matthew 18. Matthew 18 says always go to that person in private first. So if you've got a problem with your work colleague, go and speak to him one-on-one. Try to resolve the issue. Don't just bad mouth him in front of the boss. Then we go on to Proverbs 11 to 14, which talk about four types of different corrupt or sins that happen in this generation. It starts with this: there is a kind of man. Verse 11, there's a kind of man. Each verse has a different sin. Who curses his father and does not bless his mother. And in this generation, as we look at the end times, there's a tendency for children to disobey, to disrespect, and to curse their parents and be rebellious against their parents. We're going into that generation, but it's very serious sin. In Exodus 21:17, whoever curses his father or his mother shall be put to death. It's a death penalty for those rebellious children. Verse 12, there's a kind who is pure in his own eyes. He is not washed from his filthiness. We're entering a proud generation, a generation that God is their stomach. All they cared about is themselves, and a self-deceived generation. And the worst self-deception you can have is when you think that you're saved and you're not saved. And there's a lot of people in that camp. The Pharisees were like that. They did all the right things, they knew the scriptures, but they didn't know Jesus. And so you can think that you're born again, that you're going to heaven, but you're not. And that's a very, very sad place to be. Verse 16, Proverbs 16:2, all the ways of a man are pure in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the spirit. You may think that you're pure and holy, you got everything going for you, going to heaven, but God can see your heart. God can judge your spirit. God is the one who knows exactly what's going on. Verse 13, there's a kind, second one, or third one, oh, how lofty are his eyes, and his eyelids are raised in arrogance. Also linked to that pride. Proverbs 21 verse 4 says, haughty eyes and a proud heart, the lamp of the wicked are sin. Those are things that the Lord hates, abomination to the Lord, haughty eyes. Verse 14, there's a kind of man whose teeth are like swords, and his jaw teeth like knives to devour the afflicted from the earth and the needy from among men. There's a kind of man or a generation out there that likes to prey on the poor, likes to take advantage of the poor, and that's what God hates. Proverbs 14:31, whoever oppresses a poor man insults his maker, and he who is generous to the needy honors him. Amen.